What is a foreman on a construction site? In this video, we're going to give you an overview so you would know exactly what a foreman is and how to utilize their unique capabilities. One of the main things I want you to get out of this video is why this role is so crucial and important. By the end of this video, you will know the main focus of a foreman on the project site, what the most important skills are for foremen in general, and some of the things you should never do as a foreman. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. You're going to love it. So let's get this going. Let's go through the content. So foremen on a construction project, otherwise known as crew leaders, are literally, in my opinion, the most valuable role on a construction project. Superintendents plan and prepare work, project managers lead the overall project, and engineers do their thing, but the rubber meets the road with foremen, with crew leaders, because the foreman is the sometimes senior most, but the most experienced leader worker in the group that has the leadership capabilities to plan and prepare work and make sure that the work of the crew is cohesive and going in right the first time. This role is crucial. I've always said that yes, superintendents add value, yes, engineers enable the work, yes, the project manager leads, but that project rises or falls based on the ability of the foreman. They are our heroes. They are the people that get it done. This is where it starts and stops. They are amazing. Think about it like this. Who else makes money on a construction project? For the superintendents out there, shout out to y'all over on the left side, right? Okay, so all of you, would anybody pay for your schedule? Would anybody pay for your daily reports if it wasn't for the work? No. Okay, all right, shout out to all you project managers, project engineers on the right side over here. Okay, so all of you, would an owner pay for a pay application by itself, or an R5 by itself, or a submittal by itself? Nah, ain't gonna happen. You get where I'm going. All the foremen that are everywhere on our project supervising work, they and the workers they oversee make the money. When they're putting in work, you can just hear that cha-ching, that like, you can just see dollars just falling from the sky. The rest of us are non-value add but necessary overhead. Like, that's just it. I mean, I love you and I'm glad you're here with me, and this is kind of a cool relationship we have. Speaking of relationships, please like and subscribe this video. I want to keep going. So real quick, pause there. But I love this relationship with you. I think you're cool. But you know, none of this happens without the workers and foremen. They are value add necessary labor and leadership that makes all of the money and most directly affects the product that is connected with the end customer. And so we just love foremen and workers, and we want them to be enabled and supported to the largest extent possible. And so we have another video on this channel that you're going to love that talks about the literally step-by-step tasks and responsibilities of a foreman. But let me summarize. Foremen look ahead, right? So a lot of the foremen in our construction industry will be like, oh, I come to the job site, all right, I'll start doing my work with the crew. Oh, I hit a roadblock, I'm out, see a piece, I'm out. That's not how we do it, everybody. The work of the foreman, the work of the crew leaders happens weeks and months before the activity ever happens. With the pull plan, the pre-construction meeting, the make-ready look-ahead schedule, the weekly work plan, and the day planning of the work itself. If a foreman came to the project site and just started then and went home when there was a roadblock, why did that roadblock happen? The foreman and the superintendent should be looking out ahead. That is their role. That is how a good foreman does work. They prepare and plan the work. Here's something I want to tell you. Average workers, and I will say the average of the bottom 25% of workers in our industry, if you take the average of their production, are more productive than our bid units. And the top 25% of workers in our industry are usually at least 2 times as productive, if not 4, as productive as the lower 25%. And so people are like, Jason, how could that be true? Like, this guy is crazy, right? There's no way that's true. So if that's true, Jason, why aren't I making production in my numbers? It's because of stops and restarts. It's because of roadblocks that weren't seen and removed out ahead of time. And so once we get supers and foremen out from behind the 8 ball where they can't do anything, out from being a victim of circumstance and being a planner and the lowercase g god of their world, that's when the construction industry is really going to take off, and we're going to have flowable work and really make production. So what we have to do is get foremen from this reactive mode out to the proactive mode. You can tell a good foreman when it's no longer a response to circumstance, but a creation of circumstance. And so foremen are planners. That's number one. Number two is foremen are teachers. Like I hear everybody in the industry, supers and foremen, being like, we don't have any trained workforce anymore. Like nobody knows what they're doing. Well, who was supposed to train them? Did we think some magic fairy from someplace was going to go train them, or that it would just magically pour into their brains? All of us old timers, I'm only 41, but I consider myself an old timer, but all of the old timers are like, oh, when I was younger, I figured it out. No, you didn't. We all had people mentoring us, or at least we had somebody yelling at us. Now we just ignore people. Like we don't even yell at them because we're not allowed to. But like we just ignore people. And I think some people are like, well, forget it. I can't even yell at them, so I might as well not say anything. Well, nobody's getting taught. So superintendents and foremen, you are the main teacher. You should have the ability, whether it's to train your crew or to give a presentation or to give a talk or to teach a university class. You are a professional teacher and you are a professional communicator. I just want to dispel something and go off on just a little bit of a rant. I heard somebody the other day going through a training being like, well, Jason, I guess that would be important if I was a professional communicator, but I'm not. I'm a foreman, right? And I was like, what? What did you do yesterday? Well, I helped the crew install this. What nail did you hammer in? What screw did you screw in? What thing did you build? Well, I didn't build anything. I don't pound nails anymore. I supervise the crew. Okay, well then what did you do? Well, I talked to him and I gave him, you did what? You did what? You communicate, what was that? And so like I make the point, you are a professional communicator. You are a professional teacher. That is your job. Not only do you plan and prepare work, but you communicate. You are a professional teacher and communicator. And those are the main roles of a construction foreman or a crew leader. And that is something that if we get our minds wrapped around, everything would change around us, because no one's coming to fix this. It's us. No one's coming. It's on us. So we have to have foremen filling their role and their main focus. So I'll give you, and I'll summarize this from actually the other video that we did about crew leaders and foremen. There's three main things that you got to do, and I want you to remember this. Plan, build, finish. One more time. Plan, build, finish. You plan the work. That means we have the schedule. That means we have the resources. That means we have the tools, the equipment, the information. That means that we have every bit of information, all of the permissions. That means you've inspected the work. You are ready mentally. You have the work scheduled. Everything is prepared. And most importantly, you've looked at the look ahead and you've looked at each activity and you've asked, do I have the labor, the materials, the equipment, the information, the permissions, the layout, right? All of the key components. And if the answer was no, that becomes a roadblock in that 6-week window, and it's your job to remove those roadblocks. So planning and preparing work. Building the work, build it right. That means that you will take your quality checklist from the pre-construction meeting and you will inspect the work. You won't just watch crews and trust that they got it done, or that the wall cavities are clean, or that the placement is ready to go. You personally, with your tape measure, will inspect the work and make sure it's built right, because we cannot afford to do it again. We don't have time and money. It will cost 2 to 12 times the amount that it would cost originally to do it right to fix it later. We don't have that time. We don't have that money. So foreman, inspect the work. Third thing, finish. That means and this is probably the most important thing ever, do not move to the next zone without finishing. Do not move on and just do your production work. Finish that zone, punch that zone, inspect that zone, clean that zone, demobilize that zone, hand that zone off, and make sure you're done, freaking done. DDFD. Make sure that you finish the work. I've said before, if you leave something that could have been done with the crew right away and you put it on a punch list and come back to it, there are at least 15 to sometimes 38 additional steps to come and do it the second time. That's where you lose your money, your morale, and your productivity. And the last thing that I want to say, just on my little rant here, is that foremen are at the place of work. They're on the job site. They are a safety and quality presence in the field while they're planning work. Great foremen do not run to Home Depot. There are people that do that for you. You need to be on the project site. Going to Home Depot is a form of escapism. You do not have too much road time in the car. You need to consolidate your trips, Focus, time block your time, and be on the site with the crews. Foremen do not run dirty crews. They do not run organized crews, and they do not run unsafe crews. You can know an inexperienced foreman immediately if that person is off somewhere else, not focused, not planning work, not teaching and building the team, not focused on quality and building it right the first time, and if that foreman is unclean, unsafe, and disorganized. That is the measure of an inexperienced foreman. But the measure of an experienced foreman is clean, safe, and organized, planning work, teaching the team, on site, installing a quality product, and finishing as they go. And for all of you out there that do that, I praise you, I love you, we need you. You are the heart and soul of this industry. Let's keep going. And so one of the things that I'm so excited about, if somebody was like, well, Jason, those are great concepts. Could you write a book one day? Yeah, done. I just wrote it. Elevating Construction Foremen. It's also titled Elevating Construction Crew Leaders. And I will link it to you in the description below. It is in book form. It is on Kindle. It is on audio. You have to check out this book. Not only does it show you how to be a great foreman, but also gives you great production principles on actually how to meet your production. I don't think this information is shown anywhere else. You're gonna love it. Check it out. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I love you. I love this information. Foreman, you are the heart and soul of our industry. We need all of us to elevate this role. On we go.